Hi, I'm Mark Buckley, visiting with you again from Ann Arbor Station here. Got a list of questions here, and I'll try and answer what I can for you here. With the Amtrak Wolverines fully back to service with 352 and 353 being back as well, how do you feel this will improve the ridership? It'll improve the connectivity a lot, and especially with our West Coast services. City of New Orleans, things like that. It eliminates the hours and the fact that you can go to Chicago for a longer trip. Okay, and it also, even now, we got you can go to Detroit and make a day trip out of it. So it's just the increased connectivity that the additional service would provide. When will the Midwest cars begin being used on the Wolverine? Don't know for sure on that. They're still doing some shakedowns on it. I'm hoping we'll see them before the end of the year, but nothing has come across officially as to when they're going to start. It might be that there were no food service cars yet. They had just done coaches. They might be waiting for that. I can't say for sure, but hopefully within this next few months we'll start seeing that new equipment. How do you like the brand new collectible pins? 50 years ago. Oh yeah. And I see you got the 4316 shirt. I've got another one with a big picture on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would advise a lot of people check out the website. These are some neat t-shirts. With the Genesis Unit 61 that came through last month. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so they had like a Genesis unit that came through like on the back of the train or whatever. So basically like, they're starting to put them like into service because the Dash 8s are starting to reach the end of life. So now they're starting to replace them with Genesis.
I remember what that was. What had happened with that is that they had some issues with the locomotives that were working the track department at Jackson. And they sent that engine out to tow that equipment. That's all that was a move. But the Genesis units, I would not expect, other than in a reserve situation, to be back on the trains. But they towed those 500 units. There were a couple of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't move on their own, so they sent that engine out there.
Well, I mean, a lot of those, those were made like what, the early '90s or whatever.
Yeah, we needed equipment in a hurry, and those were nice. I like those engines.
Yeah.
We used them. We had mail too for a while, and we had mail trains loading cars. I remember seeing those in Toledo for a while. They're 4 axles. They'd actually be good on high, for a freight company, van trains.
Well, yeah, they're very similar to, like normal freight trains as well, Yeah,
but they don't have that six axle, just the 4. A little lighter. Well, how do I feel about the proposed northern route from Ann Arbor to Traverse City? It's going to take a lot of work. I'd like to see it, especially the tourism to the summer. That railroad needs a lot of work. You can't just, put some ties in. That rail is old. That's why I was saying if you go down the mile and go to the interchange there and you look at that railroad, it's going to take more than a time.
Well, that's like the Ann Arbor Railroad's one of the original, Michigan railroads,
Yeah, and it was part of the old Wabash system, and it was separated, and it's been kind of an orphan since the 1960s. And then they got rid of used to be great for a car ferry. They used to go up to Alberta, and they could put rail cars on up there, take them across to Wisconsin, Escanaba, and Lake Superior. They got rid of all that in the 80s, forced all the rail interchange through Chicago. And that pretty much was the end of the Ann Arbor as a north-south.
Well, yeah, because that like the was it Escanaba, Lake Superior. That's like a really northern. It's like up north.
But they used to run across to Wisconsin, a Green Band Western, and that was there was an alternative route. If you were going to the Northwest, you could send a train, to Toledo, and then they'd send it up on the Ann Arbor, and then go across, and then give it back to Burlington, in Wisconsin, and then go across that way. And it was one of those things that went away with deregulation. Okay, and so anyhow, to revitalize that, there hasn't been a passenger train on the Ann Arbor since 1950. So
it's a pretty long time. What was that, like 70 years now?
And I don't know how you could work it with this train because they are on a separate grade. That runs over down here, and that's on a curve. So if we do that, it's going to be 2 train stations in Ann Arbor, unless this, I just don't see a good place
Or they like move it around like they did in Dearborn, where they make the whole new station or something like that. You know, which that would cost even more money.
Well, there's a curve down here that's difficult.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's right there. It's going to take some ingenious architecture, maybe,
Yeah.
and engineering to make that work, to make the connectability from here. But it'd be a great thing for Michigan and for tourism
Oh
to
yeah,
bring that
because I
route
mean, there's
back.
no route up there yet, really. You know.
That's the only one that's left that's still intact. Yeah, there's still other routes, but they've been severed in places, and
Yeah.
so that's the one to go with. How do I like the final Amtrak 50 Genesis Unit Heritage Paint Scheme? I do like that very much. The bloody nose is always my favorite.
Yep.
Will they bring back? This is from Facebook via the Michigan Line Facebook group.
Yeah.
The guy named Rodney here. When will they bring back the F40ph? Laughing out loud, and that's what I'll laugh too. They might bring them. If you want to see F40phs, go look for the CSX business train because they're running them on there. I don't know. They might even still be using them in Chicago. I don't know. Amtrak might use one in some kind of a.
Because I mean, now
historical
they're
sense.
like non-powered units, or what do they call it?
Oh, the cabbage cars?
Yeah.
For baggage. I don't like those when we had to work with those. They aren't really. But it was a good idea, but it really wasn't practical.
Yeah.
But Eric, Lisa Fisher question. When a dispatcher tells a freight train they're waiting on Amtrak and the engineer replies, Roger, waiting on the hot empty. Is he joking or is it really a hot empty? Well, it might be a hot empty if it's a deadhead move. You never know. I can remember them talking about Amtrak being the tin can, you know, whatever. But I would say it's all in fun. So, not really a hot empty. It is hot because it's, you know, priority train is what hot means. When will the Wolverine go push-pull? When we have a sufficient number of locomotives to make that work.
Well, because I mean, right now they're having a big issue with the cars and all that stuff. You know, that's the reason like why they had to have the baggage car on 350 and 355, I think, right?
Well, you have a minimum number of axles.
Well, yeah, down like West Michigan, right?
Yeah.
On that CN track.
So but as motor power is available, they'll probably do that again. But it's just what's available right now. They've been still trying to work a few of the bugs out of these new units, but they're getting there. Tell me about this. This is available on the website?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like limited edition pins or whatever, basically for like each of the different.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those new things they added to the website.
And that's the paint scheme. I have not seen this. This is the first I've seen this paint scheme. So I like that. That's kind of a mix of all of them.
Yeah, because I mean, we came here last week when like those were like brand new questions. I think those pins that just came out like the day before that, actually. You know, yeah. And then that same exact thing with that paint phase. I think was phase 3 paint scheme
Yeah.
for the Genesis unit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, very nice.
And you have questions?
I don't know. I mean, is there anything else you want to add into the thing, or?
I appreciate your interest, you know, and your support of Amtrak, and things are going to get better for sure. So keep sending your questions, bring them in. I'll try and answer them as best I can. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for your visit here today.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.